Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It is July 13th. It's almost Friday, and boy, it's been a hot week.
It really has. We're at 82 degrees. Did we ever get below 80 this morning?
I don't think officially our little graphic said we did, but Justin was saying that was not true.
If we did, I didn't see it. I'll double check one more time, but I don't think so. I don't think we did. So we've spent something like 48 hours above 80 degrees, and yesterday was just brutal. We had 105 yesterday for a high. The heat index at one point was like 109. And I'd love to tell you that things changed today, but they really don't. We're going to be right back where we were yesterday. So let's look at the numbers right now. We're at 82 here in San Antonio. We've already turned the corner and started to warm back up now. 79 Kerrville, 86 in Del Rio. The heat index in Del Rio right now is 94. Feels like it's 89 here in San Antonio. Still pretty sticky out there. We do have a morning cloud deck, and it's a little thicker than yesterday's. We'll see how long it hangs around, but at the moment, cloudy. At least at the airport. 79, as we said, in Kerrville, 78 Uvalde. It is clear in Del Rio, where it is 86, 85 down there in Cotulla, and low to mid 80s here around Bexar County right now. Our forecast today, 2 o'clock, 99, feels like 101. At 5 o'clock, it's 104, feels like 108. We could see that heat index go as high as 109. And then by 10 o'clock, it finally cools down a little bit. 90 down to 86 by 11 p.m. A lot going on across the country. We're going to look at that. Drought index just came in. We'll also peek at that. I think you know what it's going to look like, but we'll show it to you here in just a few minutes. Get over to Stephen now. And how are things shaping up as the morning commute winds now?
Not too bad, Justin. You know, TransGuide cameras show us a pretty easy commute along 281 at Grayson, but let's show you what else is happening out there. 90 at 36, east and westbound lanes still have a lot of folks making their way through, and same goes for 281 at Loop 410. Of course, we had some problems that were reported earlier during morning rush hour. Let's get a look at our map. So this is one of the areas where we don't have TransGuide cameras. Unfortunately, Loop 1604 eastbound at Stone Oak Parkway, there's still a little bit of a delay that's being shown on our map, and TxDOT is still reporting this crash out there. But again, guys, we don't have cameras in that area, so we can't show you the conditions, but it's something I will watch closely. 1604, obviously a very tight and busy corridor, especially with all that construction. So just pack some patience, watch out for crews, and let's hope everyone is doing okay. Wide look of the map does show a little bit of the congestion, of course, on the northwest side. And as we give you a wider look, a lot of it has dwindled down, which is great. But something that you're going to see a lot more of course, that active construction. I-10, Kendall County, mentioned the bridge work that's taking place. Don't forget, it wraps tomorrow, but the crew should already be out there and should be wrapping up at 3 this afternoon. Alternating main lane closures in both directions at Fredericks Creek Bridge is what you can expect. But don't forget, scan the QR code because I know that's a lot of information. It takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page, and there's a full list of all the closures that are happening in our area. So plan that commute ahead of time, guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you. A new development this morning, the FDA has approved the first ever over-the-counter control pill. O-Pill is the first non-prescription birth control pill in the U.S. It's a mini pill that uses only the hormone progestin, and this came out a little over an hour ago, so we're going to continue to follow the latest.
And here's a look at today's other top stories in the 9 at 9.
The Texas House is expected to vote on property tax legislation today. Yesterday, a key portion of the package to cut land-owning Texans' property taxes received unanimous approval in the Texas Senate. The legislative package could land on Governor Abbott's desk by the end of the week.
The entertainment world facing a blockbuster breakdown. The contract for the Screen Actors Guild and American Federation of TV and Radio Artists expired 1 minute before midnight. Now the actors are on strike alongside writers who have been on strike since May. The main issue is money. The Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers called for a federal mediator in hopes for a last-minute deal, but so far that hasn't happened.
Chinese hackers are being blamed for a recent attack on U.S. government agencies, including the Commerce and State Departments. They managed to breach multiple email accounts, including one belonging to a cabinet member. The Chinese government responded to the reports overnight by criticizing the U.S., saying, quote, "The U.S. is the world's biggest hacking empire," end quote.
There are new concerns about the extreme heat bearing down on much of the country. Heat alerts are posted from Washington State to New Mexico and from Texas to Florida. In the north, a different set of concerns. More rain for the Northeast, and at least 5 confirmed tornadoes hit the Chicago area.
New Labor Department data for the month of June shows inflation continuing to cool to its lowest level in more than 2 years and steady job growth. It comes as the Federal Reserve is weeks away from its July interest rate meeting, but many experts believe more improvement needs to be shown before the Fed starts cutting rates. And the U.S. Treasury Secretary cautions a recession is not fully off the table.
It seems inflation has hit renters harder than it has affected homeowners. Bank of America analyzed customers' payments and found a big difference between the two groups when it comes to spending money on things other than housing. That's because rent payments have soared, but the majority of homeowners' monthly payments have stayed the same. But since mortgage rates have doubled in the last year, it's likely the spending difference between the two groups will narrow over time.
Grocery prices stayed somewhat steady in June. They ticked up only 0.1%, which is slightly less of a rise than the increase for food items overall. In the past year through June, food prices went up by 5.7%. There are a number of factors that have contributed to rising food prices, including extreme weather, the war in Ukraine, avian flu, and higher costs along the supply chain.
Helping to push inflation down, a steep drop in the cost of taking a ride on a plane. Airfares dropped nearly 19% in the last year, even with passenger traffic hitting record highs.
A decision is expected in a few weeks on whether General Motors will be allowed to put up to 2,500 fully self-driving cars on the road each year. GM wants to offer vehicles that run without steering wheels, mirrors, or windshield wipers. And that's today's 9 at 9.
Need morning headlines, meetings, and more meetings. All those meetings could be costing companies some serious cash.
Plus, the New York Jets have suffered some hard knocks over the years, and now they may be the subject of hard knocks. And the Spurs are honored at the ESPYs. David Sears is here with all of this news.
We've known for many, many years the community service that the Spurs organization does, and finally last night they were honored for what they did in Uvalde. So we'll have that for you in just a second, but first let's start with this. If you are a manager of any kind of company and you love to have meetings, some have meetings to decide on the next meeting. Well, you could be wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. That is according to a Canadian company. The company is Shopify. They designed a meeting cost calculator to use within their own workforce. They integrate it into their employees' Google calendars. It'll estimate the cost of their meetings. They use average pay data, number of employees who attend, and length of the meeting. So here's one of their examples. A half-hour meeting with 3 employees can cost the e-commerce company from $700 to $1,600. The calculator predicts Shopify will see a 15% decrease in overall costs if they just got rid of 3 meetings per person per week. After looking at the data, they canceled all employee meetings with 3 or more people and all meetings on Wednesday. They have been one of the doormats of the NFL, and now we're going to get a chance to see if they can turn things around this year up close and personal. The word is out that the New York Jets will be the subject of this year's version of Hard Knocks, and why not? They've been through a lot of hard knocks lately. However, things could turn this year. They traded for Aaron Rodgers in the offseason. Remember that? He's the former MVP of the Packers. HBO hoping the increased interest in the team will pay off for their show. And by the way, the Jets haven't made the playoffs in 12 years. Yes, they're worse than the Cowboys. Congratulations to San Antonio Spurs. Last night they were honored at ESPN's annual ESPY Awards with the Humanitarian Award for the work they did in helping the community of Uvalde heal after the Robb Elementary School shooting. The Spurs held practices, raised money, and invested in the Sports and Healing Fund to help folks deal with the trauma. The emotional moment of the night when DeMar Hamlin took the stage, he broke in tears as he presented the training staff of his team, the Buffalo Bills, the Pat Tillman Award for Service. They rushed to the field when Hamlin collapsed with that heart issue and have been credited with saving his life.
By the grace of God and divine intervention, we had the best outcome we could have prayed for or imagined.
Other big news from the big night. LeBron James is coming back for his 21st season in the NBA. He is the NBA's all-time leading scorer. So I know you guys are excited to hear that. So there you go. It'll be fun to watch him against Wembanyama.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. So
Thank you, Dave.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm right now, 9:07, 82 degrees, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Amazon Prime Day may be over, but the deliveries will be coming over the next few days. What you can do to prevent thieves from taking packages left at your front door.
But before that, we're exploring a rapidly immersive tool that local companies are using for employee safety training. Tiffany Huertas joins us with how the VR program is taking a major vehicle manufacturing plant to the next level. In today's Tech SA, there's a rapidly immersive training tool that local companies are using, and it was created right here in San Antonio.
Tiffany Huertas shows us how this virtual reality program is taking employee safety training at a major vehicle manufacturing plant to another level.
When you put the goggles on, it's full 360.
This is what employees at a vehicle manufacturing plant in San Antonio will see when they put on these goggles.
So you can look all the way around the plant. You have full audio for the plant that's running. PC is the same way. You can actually scroll around with your mouse.
The IMG studio is behind this virtual reality safety training program that was created for Toyota San Antonio.
And it actually allows them to pick and choose what safety violations are happening within the scene. It scores them. It actually has a timing system.
The IMG studio is a local digital content development company that was founded in 2007.
We started in VR really early on before it was really adapted.
After the team had several meetings with Toyota, they designed the program and then they went inside the plant to film.
We have two sides of the company. We have the video side that actually goes out and shoots the video. Then we have the developers who bring it into a gaming engine and actually gamify or make it interactive.
He says data collected from the program will be used to better assess training of the employees.
We've since expanded this project into other Toyota plants. Our goal eventually is to have this in all of North America plants and then also in some of the Mexico plants as well.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there with live cams. So I was able to step out during my break, and at the time there was no sun. I was like, hey, I can handle this, but it looks like the sun's trying to creep out of the clouds now.
It is, yep, kind of normal routine around here. We were doing so well, late spring, early summer with the rain. The drought monitor was looking good every Thursday, and now we're sliding backwards.
It's like she just took the rug out right from under us. It was like a trick. It was so nice. It was. Now things are really heating up. And these temperatures, by the way, are in the shade, okay? So when you're out in the sun, it is no fun. The other thing we're dealing with is the drought. We got the drought monitor, and this came just in about an hour ago. And it honestly hasn't changed that much, but we are starting to see most of our area drift back into at least a dry situation, if not drought. And we know there north and west of San Antonio up along I-10, it has been really, really bad. We're still in an exceptional drought here, and this has been in the exceptional drought range for a good amount of time now. So then you have to start thinking about fire danger and all these things that we don't want to have to deal with. But here we are, and severe drought is starting to drift back across Bexar County as well. So some rain would be great. There's just not any in the forecast, unfortunately. And Medina Lake still dropping what water it has left. It's down to 5% and down 84 feet from the conservation pool. Canyon Lake also dropping quite a bit. As we look at the situation across Texas and the Southwest, we've got excessive heat warnings, heat advisories for a large area here. And this is because that ridge of high pressure is expansive. It is going to move west, but its influence will still take hold here over Texas, and we're still going to be rain-free and hot even as it moves west. It may bring temperatures down a degree or two, but that's about all we can do. And as you look at the high temperatures today, 104 here in San Antonio, 109 in Laredo. We could push 110 out across parts of West Texas. And then Furnace Creek, this is one we've been watching, that's Death Valley. And they're forecasting a high of 115 today, which that's not bad, but, well, it's not great. But it's better than what they're going to see going forward. They're expecting to get temperatures up around 130 this weekend, which would be or tie an all-time record there for one of the hottest temperatures ever on Earth. So that just gives you some perspective. Where we've been, well, we've had 18 days now with a heat index of 105 or higher, and that's been the difference between this year and last year when we had more of a dry heat. This year it's been not only hot, but also humid, and that's pushing that heat index way up there. We are in range of 1948. I think it's possible that we reach that record a little bit later this summer if things continue the way they are. And I mentioned Death Valley. There's the forecast Sunday, 130 Just pretty incredible. The all-time high is 134. That was set back in 1913, although that's in dispute. They're not completely sure the instrumentation was all that great back then. So more recently, Death Valley hit 130 in 2021, and that would tie that record. At any rate, just incredible numbers out there. 82 right now. Dew point is at 75. It feels like 89 here in San Antonio. We've got some cloud cover, but as you saw, it's quickly going away, and we'll see mostly sunny skies later today. 79 in Kerrville, still some clouds there. Fredericksburg 79, 85 in Gonzales, 84 Carrizo Springs, low to mid 80s here around Bexar County. And the forecast today, 99 at 2 o'clock. We're up around 104 by 5 p.m. 108 is the feels like number, the heat index, and we're still carrying a heat index above 100 even through 9 p.m. Forecast heat index around the area. There will be some spots that get up above 110, especially south and southeast of San Antonio. Excessive heat warnings are in effect again today. We are also looking at another CPS Energy yellow day. We've got to conserve some of that energy as the energy grid gets taxed during the afternoon. 3 to 8 p.m. is that time frame where we want to do what we can to help out the grid. As we look at the state as a whole, there are a few showers up across parts of North Texas, some storms across Arkansas. Yesterday, tornadoes around the city of Chicago. All the active weather's up here and moving around that ridge. And unfortunately for us, it stays dry and it stays hot. Wish I had better news, but that is just the situation and where we are. 103 Friday, 103 Saturday. Look for triple digits well into next week, guys.
Thank you, Justin. With the kids out of school, summer can be a convenient time for families trying to hike or camp, but the heat beating down on us can have deadly consequences.
Garrett Berger talked with a wilderness medicine expert about how to stay safe.
Even on the shady trails of Friedrich Wilderness Park, the heat can be oppressive.
I mean, honestly, today made a real impression on me that, you really have to prepare.
But help if you need it, at least is likely to be closer at hand, unlike some bigger state or federal parks like Big Bend.
But if you're 3 miles up, it takes so much effort to get a person down from there. And then once you're there, it's another hour and a half to the closest hospital.
Dr. Stephen Moore is the director of UT Health San Antonio's Wilderness and Survival Medicine Fellowship. He says heat-related illness can show up quickly and escalate even faster.
From signs of confusion to being very sick and dying from it, it could be half an hour.
So look for early signs like feeling generally weak, cramping, racing pulse, and if someone seems confused, stop and get them medical help right away and do what you can.
You want them to expose skin, sweat, let that sweat evaporate. If you have a cold stream or cold water, something like that, get them into the cold.
It's much better to stay ahead of it by avoiding the hottest parts of the day in direct sun, planning for the heat that will be there, and drinking water.
Dr. Moore says a day-long hike through cooler weather might take a gallon of water, but trekking through this kind of heat, that is going to require more.
So have enough water, drink to thirst, bring some salty snacks, and listen to your body. That would be my recommendation.
And if you're going to hike, find somewhere cooler and shady. The hikes in direct sunlight will still be there this fall. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
And with the temperatures once again hitting triple digits, the city is opening over 30 locations to help residents get out of the heat. The locations include city libraries as well as senior and community centers. We have a full map with all the locations on our website at ksat.com.
919, 82 degrees.
The nominees for the 75th Emmy Awards, television's top honor, has been announced. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the nominees and who we think will win.
Nominees for the 75th Annual Emmy Awards were announced yesterday morning.
That's right. So the show's nominated for Outstanding Drama Series. We can start with Andor, a prequel to Star Wars for Rogue One.
Better Call Saul, the wildly popular spinoff Breaking Bad that ended last year. Love that show.
The Crown Season 5, which delves into the troubled marriage of Prince Charles and Princess Diana.
House of the Dragon, a prequel for Game of Thrones, made the list.
The Last of Us, the post-apocalyptic drama.
Last season of Succession, the show has won this award twice before.
Wow, that was pretty good. The White Lotus, the social satire set in a Hawaiian resort.
Fantastic. And then also in Italy. And then Yellow Jackets, that horror-tinged show about high school soccer players forced to survive in the wild after a plane crash. The premise sounds crazy, but this was a wildly popular show. So it's going to be very tough to pick a winner.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know I've talked to a lot of people who have favorites, like more than one of these on the list.
Absolutely. And this one, I would have trouble picking between. I'm a huge Better Call Saul fan, but The Crown was pretty good. And
Yes.
And then White Lotus, I thought was hilarious.
Well, and I really like The Last of Us as well. So, I mean, well, we'll see what happens.
Yes. All right. So let's move on to funnier stuff. And that's the Outstanding Comedy Series.
That's right. Abbott Elementary, the show about teachers that airs here on ABC. I think that's pretty funny. That's on the list.
Got rave reviews. Barry, that HBO show about a hitman trying to get out of the business.
Jury Duty, chronicling the inner workings of an American jury trial. It airs on Freevee.
Only Murders in the Building, true crime comedy show starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
And Ted Lasso.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't even seen that, but I know people love this. On Apple TV Plus, this one, the last 2 years. Okay.
And I thought this last season was, especially the series finale, the last episode, one of the best I've ever seen.
Okay.
This is my new favorite show. I binge watched it last year, and second season just came out weeks ago. It's The Bear. It's about a Chicago chef. It's on Hulu. It's fantastic.
Yeah, both my mom and my husband are watching that right now. Seems pretty good. And The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I haven't seen the latest, but I liked all the old episodes. That's on Amazon Prime, the housewife that gets into stand-up comedy.
And then, of course, Wednesday on Netflix. And Steph, you inspired the famous dance from Wednesday, right?
Oh, of course.
Of course you did.
No, I actually like the series. I
Right.
loved it. My daughter, and a lot of other people have joined in as well.
A lot of great shows on this one too, but I have to go with Ted Lasso. That's just me.
From chatter, that's what I would guess. I haven't seen Ted Lasso. It hasn't, not yet, but I mean, people around me have.
All right, so key snubs this year, believe it or not, Yellowstone did not make the list.
That's hard to believe.
1923 did not make the list, and Harrison Ford was not nominated for 1923 or the series Shrinking with Jason Segel, who did get nominated this year.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I've actually seen Shrinking, and I'm like, I wonder if he's like that in real life.
I know.
A little bit, right?
A little bit of a grump?
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think so. Well, the 75th Annual Emmy Awards scheduled to broadcast coming up on September 18th.
But that could change due to the ongoing writer's strike and the threat of an actor's strike.
We'll keep you posted. Right now, 926, 83 degrees.
A lot more ahead on GMSA at 9, including what you can do to stop porch pirates from taking packages left outside your front door.
And our first look at the buoys being installed by Governor Greg Abbott's on the border at the order of Governor Greg Abbott.
Obviously, the buoys will be placed in strategic areas where we've seen the majority of flow, people coming across the river, where some of these areas are very deep, the water is very deep. So we want to prevent those crosses, we want to prevent the drownings.
KSAT had a crew go to Eagle Pass to talk with DPS about this new technique to try to prevent illegal immigration. Well, that story coming up after the break. For the first time, we're getting a look at Governor Greg Abbott's new floating border wall. A private company is installing buoys along the Rio Grande River to keep migrants from crossing.
Jonathan Cotto went to Eagle Pass, where the barriers are being set up.
The marine barrier is one of the latest efforts by the state of Texas in securing the border. Previously installed shipping containers along the portions of the Rio Grande, as well as razor wire that DPS officials say are layers of defense. Lieutenant Christopher Olivares with the Texas Department of Public Safety says the buoys should discourage migrants from crossing into the U.S., but says some attempts will be made to cross the river despite the barrier and the dangers that exist.
We do know for a fact that whether it be a migrant or whether it be a smuggling organization in Mexico, they're going to try to find ways to defeat this barrier. So we will have manpower that will be monitoring this barrier. And of course, if there's any damages or anybody does make it across, then they could possibly face some type of state criminal charges.
Once installed, the marine barrier would cover about 1,000 feet of the middle of the Rio Grande. They say the buoy system will be netted with anchors that drop down to the riverbed.
Obviously, the buoys will be placed in strategic areas where we've seen the majority of flow, people coming across the river, where some of these areas are very deep, the water is very deep. So we want to prevent those crosses, we want to prevent the drownings.
He says while the number of migrant crossings have dropped, human smuggling operations have increased.
We come across some of these smuggling situations along the border where drivers from all over, from different parts of Texas, even out of state, are still continuing to get involved in human smuggling and smuggling, migrants further into the interior as well as children.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Now, this operation has been funded by the state.
That's right. Right now on our website, hear from a local leadership who say they are thankful for the state's efforts, but say the buoys are just a Band-Aid and not a real solution to the problem. It's all on our website at KSAT.com.
Outside with live cam, already up to 84 degrees. Could be 85 by the time we're done with this newscast. Justin Horn?
That's a real possibility. In fact, we could be pushing 90 here pretty soon, sadly enough. Hey, I want to show you a picture. If you were watching yesterday, Adam Caskey let you know that the International Space Station would be flying by last night. We got a lot of good pictures of it. This is from Casa Carlos, and you can see it's always hard to catch this on camera, but like I said, we got some good shots of it. So we appreciate you sharing that with us and sending that in to our KSAT Connect. Let's look at the numbers for today. 104, the forecast high here in San Antonio. 108 is what it will feel like. These heat index values get really large as you get over towards Corpus Christi and Dallas. Wichita Falls, where heat indices could be pushing 115 later today. A lot of triple digits on that map. And as a result, we have an excessive heat warning in effect up and down I-35, up and down I-45, San Antonio, Dallas to Houston, and heat advisories for everyone else. As we look at the forecast, 96 at 1 o'clock, 99 2 p.m., 104 at 5 o'clock, feels like numbers 108. Feels like numbers 108 at 6 p.m. The heat index is going to be pretty brutal all the way through 9 p.m. before temperatures start to come down a little bit. 90 at 10 o'clock, 86 at 11 p.m. We're going to take a look at the beach and the coast cast coming up here in just a couple minutes. Guys?
Look, we have a graphic that shows exactly how much Steph bought over the last couple of days. Just kidding.
Yeah, just kidding, Luis.
It's all right, hubby.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime Day may be over, but the deliveries will be coming over the next few days, making them prime targets for thieves.
That's right. Security.org says post-Prime Day package thefts could set a record this year. And Patty Santos tells us what police are suggesting you do to keep track of your deliveries.
I'm going to pick up some more tomorrow and the next day.
We caught up with Joseph Brown as he picked up one of his Amazon deals at this locker north of downtown.
So much more convenient to leave it at these Amazon boxes here where I know it's secure and I can come and get it at any time.
He started using it after repeatedly falling victim to package thieves.
Porch pirates will travel anywhere.
This weekend and throughout the week, they're going to start making these deliveries. So now's the time.
San Antonio police are urging communities to be vigilant. They're bracing for a boom in package theft reports.
If you see something suspicious, if you see someone that's not supposed to be on your neighbor's driveway or in their porch, call the police. Be a good neighbor.
Here's how police say you can keep thieves at bay. 1, track your package and ask someone to get it off your front porch.
Have someone home to pick it up right away.
2, use visible security cameras as a deterrent. 3, have the package shipped to your workplace or a smart locker.
It's a lot more convenient because, like I said, I don't have to worry about anybody stealing it. I have my own code. I just come, scan it, my own privacy, and I just take my package and go.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
In your morning tech news, lawmakers on Capitol Hill are racing to regulate artificial intelligence, saying the fast-moving technology poses major threats to national security, the U.S. economy, and American jobs. But as CNN's Patrick Cornell reports, how do you regulate AI as more companies start to focus on the emerging technology?
Investing in AI. On Wednesday, Elon Musk announcing he's launching his own artificial intelligence company to focus on the rapidly evolving tech and possibly build a rival to ChatGPT.
You can't put genies like this back in bottles.
The announcement comes one day after the first ever classified Senate briefing on AI. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle agreeing artificial intelligence should be regulated.
These hearings are not about any one thing. It's to get all 100 members to a level where when we start to legislate, we can try to do it the best way possible.
But the big question is how? On Tuesday, the White House briefed lawmakers about the dangers from national security risks to threats to the U.S. economy and American jobs.
It's going to put some people out of work. It'll create new jobs, but it's going to eliminate some jobs, and it's going to have a real societal impact.
What's the validation of AI-related content? There's tremendous intellectual property concerns.
And while no clear plan emerged from that meeting, some lawmakers who spoke afterwards said Congress should consider adopting some sort of legislative safeguards to limit the fast-moving technology. But it's complicated.
All the issues AI will impact, national security may well be the most consequential.
in the wrong hands. But AI could also become one of the greatest tools we have for keeping America safe.
Even the creators of the technology are asking lawmakers for help. Back in May, the CEO of the company behind ChatGPT testified before Congress.
My name is Sam Altman.
And proposed creating a new federal agency to regulate AI. Since then, a bill has been reintroduced to do just that, but has not been voted on. For Consumer Watch, I'm Patrick Cornell.
In other news this morning, 3 tax prep firms are accused of sending taxpayer data to Facebook's parent company Meta and Google. A congressional report called a, quote, shocking breach of privacy by H&R Block, TaxSlayer, and TaxAct. According to the report, they shared user data over 2 years' time. TaxSlayer claims the report contains false statements. H&R Block said it takes protecting client privacy, quote, very seriously, end quote.
And Microsoft is launching a new feature for Xbox designed to help users report abusive language. The tool can capture video clips from inappropriate voice chats, which users can submit to moderators. And that's your tech news.
Right now it's 9:38, 84 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
The sport of pickleball is growing fast in popularity here in the U.S. And like any sport, there's a risk for injury. When we come back, how to keep yourself safe and healthy if you enjoy playing pickleball.
As we head to break, a look at some of the activities going on at public libraries around the city. Blake the Magician is back, this time at Harmon Branch Library. From 11 a.m. to noon, families can enjoy his magic show, but you'll need a ticket for this event. And then over at Thousand Oaks Library from noon to 1, you can take a Tai Chi class. This is for beginners and experts. Just make sure to wear comfortable clothes. For a look at all the events scheduled for today at different public libraries around San Antonio, just head to the KSAT Kids section of KSAT.com. 9:42, pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the U.S. But as the game is gaining popularity, doctors are seeing more pickleball related injuries.
CNN's Mandy Gaither tells us about the toll it can take on a body and what experts say you can do to help protect yourself.
For Robin Murray, pickleball isn't just a sport. It's a way for this retiree to stay social.
You get to run around and hit the ball and play with people.
But the game has taken a toll on her body. She says her first pickleball injury to her foot was a result of playing too much.
I would play every day, and it's so, in a good way, addictive that people just play until they're ready to drop.
She says she later tore a meniscus in her knee and had tendinitis in a bicep from playing so much pickleball. Doctors say the sport is a great way to stay active, but it's not without some risk. In the U.S. this year, analysts estimate there will be around 67,000 emergency room visits, 366,000 outpatient visits, and 9,000 outpatient surgeries related to pickleball injuries.
On a daily basis, we see a couple of people that are getting injured in pickleball.
Dr. Luis Gondara with Orlando Health says most of his pickleball injured patients are seniors. To help protect against getting hurt, he says to use proper equipment and make sure you understand the sport. Strengthening your lower body and core can also help with balance and coordination.
Always has fun, but always with moderation.
Murray is now getting regular knee gel injections and wears a brace, but is still able to play the game she loves about twice a week.
Took me a while to learn the hard way that when you love something, you can't go all out full force the whole time.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Now, according to a study released in 2021, the most common injuries from playing pickleball were sprains, strains, and fractures. And the injuries that saw smaller numbers were contusions, lacerations, and dislocations.
Doctors say delaying medical care can worsen the injury. So if you are hurt, see your healthcare provider as soon as possible.
Right now, we want to go live out to the San Antonio Zoo. And it's always a great day to go to the zoo. Live look at the flamingo exhibit and the flamingos.
Cloud cover. They got lucky this time.
They're busy flamingoing.
Flamingoing.
They do this every day. Every time we look in, it's like.
I know. We're waiting for them to surprise us.
We're waiting on like a flamingo talent show or something.
Oh, yeah.
Raise their game somehow.
Oh, there comes the sun.
Oh, there's the sun. I was just talking about it.
Shadows.
They're like, Stephanie, it's all your fault.
Back to pickleball for a second. Have you played yet?
Actually, I haven't.
Okay.
But my little girl did, and she did really well.
Justin, have you played?
I have not. I want to. Looks
Looks
like
fun.
I played at my parents' retirement community in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I was trying to be like Roger Federer out there, you know. And it was a blast. But man, I couldn't move for like 3 days afterwards.
Really? Well, I mean, 'cause
fun.
it's something that you don't do every day.
Super active, but what a great sport.
All right. Well, maybe we should start a team.
No. Ooh. Maybe. No dislocations though, right?
Yeah, you were okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Think about that.
We don't want to get that.
Hey, would you be surprised to know that the ideal hot tub temperature is 104 degrees?
Ideal?
Ideal.
I guess that makes sense.
Because look at these coastal temperatures, and it's only like 14 degrees off.
That's what's wild. Yesterday, a spot there at near Key West, the water temperature was 97. So yeah, it's almost hot tub weather. And these numbers, you may say, well, it's summer, water temperatures expect to be high. Yes, they are. But these numbers are well above average. And there are some concerns here when it comes to wildlife. Some of the coral reefs start to get damaged at these temperatures. And then you got to think about the impact on hurricanes or tropical weather. If tropical weather were to move into these kind of water temperatures, there would be so much fuel to work with. These storms could rapidly intensify. So these are all things to watch. And the water temperatures here along the Texas coast aren't as hot, but we are seeing a couple of spots where the water temperature is close to 90. So if you're visiting the Texas coast this weekend, know that even if you get in the water, it's not a big cool down. Even out into the Atlantic, we're still talking mid-80s here. Thankfully, there is nothing tropical out there to tap into some of that energy that's there, but we'll see what happens the rest of the hurricane season. We have plenty of time left, and hopefully we don't get any huge storms. We don't want that. As we look at the weekend bay and beach forecast, 94 degrees Friday, 93 Saturday, 93 Sunday. And the seas will be anywhere from 3 to 5 feet. But all in all, good beach weather. Good beach weather. It'll be hot down there on the coast too. It is hot generally across the southern half of the country. You go north, these numbers have been really nice. Seattle is still at 57 right now. Earlier, International Falls got down into the 40s. It's hard to remember what that even feels like at this point. You look at Phoenix, that continues to be one of the hot spots. It's 96 there right now, and places there in Death Valley already jumping into the 90s. We're getting close. We're in the 80s here in Texas. It is 90 in Brownsville, 86 Laredo, 87 right now in San Angelo. Locally, we're at 84. It says mostly cloudy, although these clouds are beginning to clear out pretty quickly. We're going to watch the dew point closely today. Right now, it's at 74. That generates a heat index of 91. And those morning clouds, they're quickly going away. We've got a few high clouds too, but those are not really doing much for us. 84 in New Braunfels, 87 Gonzales, 86 out there in Del Rio, and low to mid 80s here around San Antonio right now. The forecast today, 108, feels like temperature 104, feels like number 108. That's about where we were yesterday, so not a lot of change there. We still have excessive heat warnings in effect. Yesterday was a busy day, severe weather-wise, as you got up into the Midwest. In Chicago. Chicago's not a place you talk about very often when it comes to tornadoes. And, when they initially put out that tornado warning yesterday afternoon, for the city of Chicago, downtown Chicago, you think about a tornado going through a very populated area like that. That is definitely frightening. Thankfully, yes, there was some damage, but there was not a long track tornado that came through Chicago. 7 tornadoes total, at least that's the initial estimate. And there was some damage that they'll be surveying today. Pretty interesting to see the weather get that active up there. There's going to be some areas today that see more strong to severe storms, Rapid City, Denver down to Amarillo, maybe parts of Oklahoma, and then stretching back up into West Virginia and Pennsylvania. But not here in Texas. We're still missing out on a lot of the rain. There are some showers out in West Texas, but nothing here today as high pressure is still very much in control. 103 Friday, 103 Saturday, 102 Sunday. We're looking at 102 to 103 next week, too. And if we're looking for any hope down the line, maybe a week from Saturday, the models are indicating some sort of pattern change. We'll see. It's too early to get excited about that yet. In the meantime, we're just going to have to deal with this heat. Yeah.
Grin and bear it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we can handle it.
We'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
I still can't believe those Gulf temperatures that are popping up.
Oh, I know.
It's really wild. And I'm curious to see what, I don't want it to happen, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen if something does develop, how quickly it strengthens, and hopefully it stays away from land.
That will be fuel for the fire if something tropical does develop.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. 9:50, 85 degrees.
And there's always a need for blood donations, and one young lady has made it her priority to continue to do her part.
She's a great kid, has saved over 21 lives now with her blood donations. Her next donation will be a gallon donation before she's even 18 years old.
When we come back, Max Massey will introduce us to this special girl and her plea for others to donate as the blood supply here in San Antonio continues to drop.
The blood supply here in San Antonio has seen a significant drop over the last few weeks, especially after the 4th of July holiday.
Max Massey explains the need and introduces us to a young woman who has donated almost a gallon of blood in the last 3 years.
I also want to thank the people that donated to help him save his life, because those people inspire me too, along with my dad.
Renee Reyes started donating blood during her freshman year of high school after her father needed heart surgery.
Because someone donated blood and he was able to have those blood transfusions, that saved his life.
And in the last 3 years, Renee has stepped up and helped out.
She's a great kid, has saved over 21 lives now with her blood donations. Her next donation will be a gallon donation before she's even 18 years old.
Donating is fast, it is easy, and of course, your donation can help save lives. If you're willing and able through the course of the summer, Renee has a special message for you.
My message is just to get out there and donate, because I mean, even if you're scared of needles, you're helping someone else who really needs it, whether that's an adult or even a child. You're saving someone's life, or you're improving their lives or their quality of life.
And that message really needs to be heard this summer.
We see almost a 30% decline, especially during the holidays and the summer break. As high schools are out, people are on vacation. So we're asking individuals if they have an hour of their time to come in and donate, because the summer need is always great.
Donations like Renee's help people across our community.
The majority of our blood goes to people who have ongoing diseases, ongoing blood disorders on a regular basis. People who are going maybe through pregnancies, mothers who are having complications and need blood, people who have sickle cell anemia.
As for Renee's dad, thanks to the blood donations, he's doing well.
He's all great, back to his normal self.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
To address this pressing need of donations, South Texas Blood and Tissue Centers announced the launch of the Pint for a Pint campaign.
In exchange for a pint of blood, all donors will receive a voucher for a pint of HEB Creamy Creations ice cream. So donors who give blood at a blood drive will also receive the chance to win an HEB gift card valued at up to $150.
You can sign up and find more information right now over at KSAT.com.
And after no winner last night, the Powerball jackpot is now up to an estimated $875 million. So this is the third largest grand prize ever. The next drawing is scheduled for Saturday, this Saturday, and there still has not been a winner for Mega Millions either. While we have options, the next drawing for that is Friday, and the Mega Millions jackpot is now up to an estimated $560 million.
Yeah, the cash value for Mega is $281. The cash value for Powerball, $441 million.
Wow, good luck everyone. Have a good day.